Welcome to Philly Sports Report Nation. I'm your host, Idan Castiel, and I'm here with Connor Zordon, Thomas Mellon, and Kyle Campo. Philly Sports Report Nation or PSRN, is a growing media sensation built to talk about Philly sports. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Philly Sports Report Nation. Let's start off by welcoming back Kyle. He was not here next week.
I was sick
last week. He was in here last week. Yeah.
I will not be here next week either.
And last week, we also started a new segment. I said list.
List.
He said list.
Yeah,
Kyle,
we're
did you hear
not
that?
calling it list
He goes-
anymore. We're
he
just
goes, we have a segment, and he goes, it's called list.
yeah.
And I was like, no.
While
He's like, no, it's
releasing
list.
while I was listening to that, I started cracking up. I was like, did I just call it list?
I was like, oh wait, so this week it's top 5, right?
Yeah, this week
Oh.
we're gonna do top 5, and
List.
Thomas is the one who created the list.
Yes.
And go ahead.
So it is top 5 off season. What was it? No, it wasn't
Losers.
bust. It was like
Losers in the NFL
Oh, wait.
offseason.
So 1, I had Le'Veon Bell. 2, I had the Giants. 3, I had the Steelers. 4, I had the Redskins, and 5, I had the Lions.
Okay, so
Would you like me to go through my reasonings?
He had one player in 4 teams, but yeah.
It's fine.
I'll just call them teams.
Antonio Brown lost more than
I think
Le'Veon
he's
Bell.
happy than. I think he's happy where he went. I
The
don't
season hasn't started yet.
think. Yes, but where he is right now, he seems happy. Okay, can I go through my reasoning?
Yes,
I
go-
feel like
go
he could
through-
just
go
be
through
better
your
than
reasoning.
Oakland.
Let
so
Thomas explain himself.
For Le'Veon Bell, I said because basically he sat out the past season, so he passed up the $14.5 million that he could have made under the franchise player deal that he had. But there was talk of him like in the open market. He wanted $16 million per season, and instead he got $13.125 million per season. In his
That was a big loss,
year,
money-wise.
$52.5 million deal with the Jets. For the Giants, number 2, all I have to say is that they kept Eli Manning. They let OBJ walk. Well, they didn't let him walk, but they traded him, and then they let Landon Collins walk. So
And got
3,
Golden Tate in return.
3,
And overpaid him.
I had
That's
the
true.
Steelers. Brown is gone. Bell is gone. Big Ben's still your quarterback.
Right,
Okay.
Fair enough.
right.
Washington Redskins. I do not believe that any safety in this league is worth $84 million.
They overpaid him.
That is way overpaid. That's a lot of money.
It was a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah, 5 years
contract.
$84
million.
Yeah.
And then I realized something with the Detroit Lions that just made them top 5 loser basically. So Coach Matt Patricia and then the general manager Bob Quinn both worked for the Patriots or both were working with the Patriots. And it seems like they're doing their best to get the whole the good old gang of the Patriots
that
back
bad?
together
Why
in
is that
Detroit. With the deal of Trey Flowers, you had Danny Amendola. Just beware, Lions. If Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are not on your team, you cannot reassemble the Avengers.
Wow.
I mean,
I love that he just said Avengers.
like it's not happening.
No, okay.
He's not wrong there.
No, he's not wrong, but I'm not gonna say that the Lions are losers because I feel like they are on the process of rebuilding and they're on the right path.
They're on
The Lions
process.
have been rebuilding since they entered the NFL.
The Lions have been rebuilding since existence.
But I want to say that, in my opinion, the biggest loser is the Steelers. They lost respect of their quarterback. They lost top tier running back. They lost top tier wide receiver, and now they're stuck
We
with
still have Juju.
now they're stuck with
I was just about to say
now they're stuck with a young
every
young
Steeler-
wide
Don't
receiver.
do not say stuck with Juju because Juju's a
Okay,
very good
no,
player.
you're right.
And he played better than Antonio Brown last year.
You're absolutely correct.
every
but
Steelers fan ever is just gonna respond to Edon the next thing that he says. We still have Juju. That's all they say.
Juju
we still have
Smith-Schuster,
Juju.
Juju Smith-Schuster is an amazing player, but I don't know if he's ready to take that number 1 role yet. He's only 22.
And his name is Juju.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, it's a very interesting name. A lot of NFL players have
I like
interesting
it.
names. Like,
Ha ha,
Saquon.
Clinton Dix.
yeah.
Ha ha, Clinton Dix.
Ha-ha Clinton
We
Dix
have,
is the best.
yeah, Ha Ha. Ha is a very interesting name. We have then Dominic Kunsu.
And Ndamukong Suh.
what was this dude's name? Like
Halapulu.
Halapuluti Vaitai.
Yeah.
There's this dude a couple years ago named like Matsu Falu Matsu. It's like the same name forwards and backwards. It was so
Vita
weird.
Vea.
Vita Vea is just who even cares about football?
Carson Wentz? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So
Shut
Okay,
fruit.
why aren't the Ravens on the
He's in like
list?
Arizona right now.
Where are the Ravens? The Ravens.
They
should
got
be
Mark
above Detroit.
Ingram and Earl Thomas. I did not think of them as a loser.
you just got two veterans, and you lost
the whole defense.
the entire defense. Where is the Ravens? Like, where are the Ravens' defense? What was the GM doing? You replaced Eric Weddle with another veteran safety coming off a major injury. You lost
Still
C.J.
think Earl
Mosley.
Thomas is better than Eric Weddle,
No, I agree with that, but
and it's not a loss.
it's Earl Thomas
But
is not
what
a
they
long-term
lost
solution.
isn't compared to what they gained.
Exactly. C.J.
That's so-
Mosley was younger at middle linebacker. They lost. Who else did they lose?
Suggs,
Oh yeah, they lost Terrell Suggs, and even though he's on the older side, still a very valuable player.
Darius Smith,
Yeah,
sack leader.
they have ruined their defense because they wanted to target Le'Veon Bell.
And they've ruined their offense because they still have Lamar Jackson as their starting quarterback.
Not-
Lamar Jackson should play running back, and RG3 should start.
Wow.
Do they still have RG3?
Yeah, they just signed
Yeah,
him.
they just signed him actually. I feel like
Why?
I feel like they cut him and then
Because
they
he's good.
re-signed him. I feel like he's a decent backup. I would like him as a backup.
So do I.
He hasn't really played in a while though, but yeah, that was who else was on that list? Anybody want to mention? I feel like that list is pretty good actually.
Yeah, pretty list.
Thank you. List.
Yeah, Kyle. No, Kyle's not. Kyle's actually not gonna be here next week. But I was gonna assign him next week the list. But maybe
Yep.
maybe Bradley will be back next week. Maybe he'll make the list, or maybe I will. So, we'll keep up with that for next week. So let's move on. I want to start by talking about the draft. You know, last week we talked. It was so frustrating because we made the podcast, and then 2 hours later, Jordan Howard got signed, and I was just like, we just talked like
We
20
traded
minutes
for
about
him.
Josh
Traded.
Jacobs.
By
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way, I still think we're gonna draft Josh Jacobs.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
A report just
Unless-
came out yesterday saying that if he was available, the Eagles would still take him.
Okay.
Okay,
No, there was
that's a
actually
report. You do
just
not
there
know
was
how.
just a report where Eagles are bringing in Josh Jacobs on a pre-draft workout.
Well, okay. Of course they are. They want to at
Jordan
least
Howard
have an
is not
idea.
a three-down back. I still do not believe that.
He's not
He
Jordan
is a
Howard-
3-down back. He averaged.
still
That's what I
think-
said.
He's averaging
Doug
over 1,000
Peterson-
yards a
Doug
season.
Peterson-
1,000 yards doesn't mean you're a
Doug-
3-down back.
Doug
Sure,
Pete-
it does.
A little Garrett Blount at 18 touchdowns. Does that make him a 3-down back? Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to say. Yeah,
I need a
because it doesn't.
soundboard.
Or it
Jordan Howard is an elite back. I'm stick with that
He
because
was elite in 2016.
1,300 yards in his first season. That means he has that fire in him.
I still think Doug Peterson and Deuce Staley, the running back coach, they like running by committee. They don't just choose
I agree.
one guy. You saw that with Jay
Yeah, I
Jai.
agree.
You saw that with LeGarrette Blunt.
But
I
you don't
only
think-
think that Jordan Howard is going to be here for a year because his contract only has 1 year left.
I agree.
So if you bring in Josh Jacobs, he learns under Jordan Howard. He learns under Deuce Staley. And then at the same time, you see him, he grows into our 3-down back for next season.
I agree with that. But is that our priority? Tell me the truth. Do you think getting another running back is our priority
Yes.
right now?
No.
Yes.
Our priority, and I was
Yes.
thinking about this for a
I
while.
agree with Thomas.
I've been thinking about this for a while. I say first of all, we can all agree this is a defensive heavy draft, right?
Yes.
I say we get that quality defensive player. How do we do that? By trading up.
I would draft Darnell Humphrey in the second.
No. Ooh, second round.
I'm going to be honest with
We
you.
don't have a second round
I
pick.
do
Or
not
we?
think that we have
We don't
enough
have a third
assets
round.
on this team, and then the assets that we do have, I just don't think we have enough in order to trade up. That a team's gonna look at any player
Why
that
would we
we
trade
have.
up?
That's
Why would we trade
that's
up?
what I'm.
I
Why
say
would
we
we
trade
trade
up
up?
for
Because
Devin
there's
Bush.
so many
Who cares? We're stacked on
stars.
defense.
Okay, but think
Not
about it.
linebackers.
Oh yeah, what linebacker do we have? Tell me.
LJ Fort.
LJ Fort's God, okay?
We have Nigel Bradham and Camus Hill did not play horribly last season.
Nigel
so-
Bradham played horribly last season.
One bet.
I see us going out and trading up.
We're not
I
trading
even,
up.
I even wrote this down. I think we trade up to 12, get it from Green Bay, who
I agree
also
with that.
has the 30th pick in the first round because they traded up
No.
from the Saints, or traded down from the Saints. They got their
100% agree with that.
Right.
Boy, what are you talking
We trade up and get Devin Bush, middle linebacker.
Yep.
We need middle linebackers.
Devin Bush?
Devin Bush, yes.
Kyle has the most perfectly written out mock trade right there.
I say if we trade up and get Devin Bush in the draft, we have a good middle linebacker, the best middle linebacker prospect in the draft right now.
No.
Who?
Yes.
What if Josh Allen?
Derek Barnett.
Well,
Josh Allen
Allen's
is an edge rusher.
Yeah, but he could
Jinx.
play. He can play.
You're not that. Oh
middle
my God! I go
linebacker.
back to this again. That's like saying we drafted Ben Simmons to play power forward and Carson Wentz to
But
play
Josh
tight
Allen
end.
can actually play linebacker.
Josh Allen is a linebacker, but he's a rusher. We have to get that field general at linebacker. So yeah, I think we should definitely go after Josh Allen. Not because to play middle linebacker, but to get that other
Wait, so do you
elite-
want Josh Allen or Devin Bush?
Oh, I think look. If it were,
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
Take Josh Allen.
if you were in front of me and right now you offer me Josh Allen or Devin Bush without even a blink, I would take Josh Allen.
No.
Yeah, I would take Devin Bush over Josh.
Well, first of all, Josh Allen not gonna fall to
Okay.
12.
Let me ask.
No, obviously.
Devin Bush might fall to 12.
Right.
He might.
I
okay?
can see that happening. If he's available at 12, I
he's
say
available at 12,
we trade up. I can see Howie Roseman doing that. I can see it happening. And it will. No.
And it will.
I hope it will happen.
I think it's very, very unlikely that we trade up.
I am
Very unlikely. I think we might even trade down.
No.
No. We traded down
No,
last
we
year.
we will pick the best available player.
Yeah.
As Thomas said last week.
Which is not
or
Josh
did
Jacobs.
Bradley
If
say
It
they
was
that?
me.
take Josh,
They're-
if Oakland or somebody else takes Josh Jacobs before us, I could totally see us trading down.
Why are you so stuck up with Josh Jacobs right now? We have a running
Especially-
back.
No, we don't.
We have a running
We
back.
have
Yeah.
one running back.
It's true though.
Well, here's the thing, guys. We still don't know if Darren Sproles is coming back. He said he's not deciding until May.
And we still have that committee of running backs. We still have.
And
So we don't
I want a
need
running
another
back of the
running back.
future.
Okay, so we addressed that other seasons where we have linebackers.
You mean next year when there's probably not going to be any good running backs in the draft?
And why
How
do
do
you
you know
why
that?
do you think we take a running back that wasn't even the starting running back in
Okay,
Alabama?
breaking news. The Eagles just signed Nate Sudfeld to a 4-year, $25 million contract.
What?
Really?
You think I'm joking?
We did. Yeah, we did that.
$25 million?
Yeah.
By the way, this breaking news is released on Thursday. This podcast gets posted on
No, I'm just
Friday
kidding.
night.
It's April Fool's because I didn't get to do it to you on Monday.
Oh my God,
Oh.
Thomas.
Okay.
You are crazy today.
Well, Thomas is bad at control. But what were you talking about?
By the way, this is April 5th, I think.
Yeah, we
April
don't do the
4th.
podcast on Monday, so I couldn't pull any pranks.
Oh my God.
What was your plan?
April
to say
4th,
we signed
by the way.
Carson Wentz to a $500 million contract?
No, Nate
'Cause
Sudfeld.
that's
I
what he
thought
done
somebody.
once.
By the way, I do think we should re-sign Carson Wentz now.
No.
Now.
Oh
No.
my God.
Now.
No.
Now.
Why now?
Why now?
So then you
Because-
have all that money on your hands, and then you can't
just
trade him because
waste
he's
it?
hurt. If this is a contract year for him because you have to see if he gets hurt or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Okay.
you're not going to give him 500.
On
whatever
the
you want to give
contrary,
him.
on the contrary,
On
what
the
if
contrary, there
what
is
if he
no contrary.
what if he performs extremely well?
Okay, yes, I understand that, Edon, but
that's-
you have to
that's
see
why
what he does.
This is the contract year because you have to see what he does this year to give him the money.
On the contrary,
That was the point you made.
if he has an extremely
But
good
you
year,
can't see that until the
let me
year
talk.
actually
Let me talk.
happens.
Let me talk. If he has an extremely good year and we don't offer him the money that he wants, because if he wants a $200 million contract, he can
Oh, let him
very
walk.
easily.
Get outta here.
We can get him for much cheaper now than we can later. It is a
That's not
fact.
true.
It is a fact.
We do
Yes,
not
it is.
know
That's
whether
not
he is
true
injury
because
prone
they're
or
saying
not.
he wants $200 million right now anyway.
No, he has. There's no report that ever said he wants
Yes,
it.
Yes,
are
but there
reports
was
that
also
he possibly
reports about
could
him
get it.
having being a bad teammate, and he shot
Exactly.
that down.
You remember that?
So-
Okay, and there was also hundreds of reports saying that report was false. Report.
Actually, there weren't any reports saying the report was
'Cause
false.
nobody
There
could
were
say
just-
that it was-
The teammate said it was
Look,
false.
I would rather have a
And
quarterback.
Alshon Jeffrey didn't say it
I
was
would rather have a
false.
quarterback that tells people what place they're in than is quiet, because they're not going to look at him as a leader.
Okay,
Well,
you want to
Big
take
What about
Ben,
Aaron
you
Rodgers?
see
Do you
the,
like Aaron Rodgers?
problems they
'Cause I
have?
don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of a jerk.
And you see
Yes,
Big
it
Ben in the Steelers locker room. You see how divided that is. Honestly, one of the biggest
you want
problems.
to tell me Carson
Antonio
Wentz?
Brown.
You want to tell me Carson Wentz, the guy that you constantly see doing charity work, doing everything.
That's
being-
every NFL player. Let's not just pin it like
no,
it's
no,
only
but
Carson Wentz.
But
Every
Carson
single
Wentz is
NFL
different.
player.
He runs his own foundation.
Every NFL.
Okay,
is
but,
playing.
but that's not the point. You constantly see him hanging out with his teammates throughout the summer, working with them. You
So
constantly
Donovan
hear
Sue, probably one of
constantly-
the dirtiest players in the NFL, has about 4 charities.
constantly hear good things about the quarterback, about Eagles teammates saying good things about Carson Wentz. You heard one false well, we don't know if it's false, but you heard one anonymous source and you all of a sudden want to take all that away from Carson Wentz?
No, that's not what
That's
we're
not
saying.
what I'm saying. I'm
That's
just
not
saying
what
that
we're
he's
saying.
injury prone, and I'm not ready to give up
But you
half.
were just talking about his attitude.
Yes.
Because
And
you're
I don't
all
think
like,
his
give him the
attitude
money,
is
and
there.
we're all like, not giving him the money. We just brought it up as a point to contradict yours.
Carson Wentz deserves the money now, and he should get it now. And I think we will give it to him soon.
Disagree.
I don't think-
That's
it's-
not a smart decision. That is not a smart decision.
Howie Roseman's not going to make a dumb decision. He's a smart guy.
Just like Thomas said earlier, this is a defining year for him. If he gets injured again, I see a very good possibility that we let him walk.
I agree. But
I think his attitude is different this season because it is a contract year.
Like, Edon, what if you pay him the $200 million now, and he goes out and he tears his ACL
But that's
again,
what I'm saying. I'm
and
saying-
he fractures his back again.
I'm saying we don't pay him $200 million now. We offer him a
That's
contract.
what he's gonna get.
But we don't have to offer that to him now because his value isn't
Then
that
he'll
high
just
yet.
decline it and perform next year, and that's what I want him to do.
Okay. Well,
He's not wrong. I agree with Connor 100% on this. Carson Wentz, I'm sorry, other than the Super Bowl year where he got hurt, has proven nothing to me.
you're right. He's under pressure this year. He's under pressure this
He
year.
has proven legitimately nothing to me.
Okay, but that's a very false statement because an 11 and 2
how do you know what I'm
he was
feeling?
he was an MVP. He was an MVP candidate.
Until
Yes,
he
there's
got
one
hurt.
season. You do not know if that
But-
season is a fluke or not, though.
But
Until
no,
he got
you know
hurt.
he has that potential. That
Every
those
player
games-
who-
Potential doesn't
with
mean
that,
success.
With that team, he had the potential. That team was stacked.
We have virtually the same team. In fact, you
What?
can say our team
No.
coming into
What are
this
you
year,
talking
You
about?
can say our team
False.
coming into this year is
Can I pull out
Even
my
better.
button again?
Jordan Howard better than LeGarrette Blount. Deshaun Jackson better than Torrey Smith.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I don't want to hear that you're saying
I haven't
Our
seen any
roster-
of them perform yet. What if they don't fit the offense?
Deshaun Jackson
then?
not fitting the offense that he was in 3 years ago.
Not Deshaun Jackson.
no,
he just
5
has to
years
run
ago.
straight.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Deshaun. Let's put Deshaun Jackson was in Chip Kelly and Andy Reid's
Look,
offense.
you still do not know how Carson Wentz would have responded in the Super Bowl. There was no defense in the Super Bowl
Carson
on
Wentz
either
has
team.
never played a playoff game.
Exactly.
You never played a playoff game.
I
Here's
don't
the
play
thing.
in the NFL.
Carson Wentz is not a proven quarterback yet. He had one really good season and he got injured.
Mhm.
See, he got injured 2 seasons in a row. He had a mediocre.
I've
season
seen
his
more
first
from
year.
Dak
but we
Prescott than
all-
I have Carson Wentz.
I kind of agree with that.
Stop
One-
right there.
Thomas.
No.
All right, here we go. Here we
Dak
go with
Prescott
another
is more- wait, hey,
accusation.
Dak Prescott is more of a proven
This is
winner
a
than
Billy
Carson Wentz at this
podcast,
point.
Thomas.
Yes, and listen to what I'm saying.
What? He won one playoff
Dak
game
Prescott
against
was able
who?
to
The
win-
Seahawks?
Dak Prescott was able to win with Amari Cooper. Nobody was able to do anything with Golden Tate. Okay, I'm not saying that I like Dak
Oh my God.
Prescott.
Golden Tate didn't fit the
I'm not-
offense.
Mike, grow.
I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz. I'm just saying that I think I've seen more from Dak Prescott at this point
Okay,
in
you know,
both of their careers.
we're ending it.
Technically,
I agree
you
with
literally
Thomas.
have
That's not
seen
a
more because
bad-
he's played more
ending.
games.
We're stopping
I
with
think you
this
guys are just salty
conversation.
about the fact that he's a Cowboy. Thomas makes a really good point. Carson Wentz is not a proven
and
quarterback
I'm not
yet.
saying that I like
Dak
the Cowboys.
Prescott has
Neither is
proven
Dak.
himself to be a starting
Zeke is
quarterback.
the whole team.
Yeah. What has Dak proven without?
You saw the
without
Cowboys
Ezekiel?
before.
What has
Amari
Carson
got
Wentz
there.
proven?
What has Carson Wentz proven? Wentz has proven to be an MVP candidate.
No, he
Mm-hmm.
Has proven an 11-2 record.
Okay.
Has proven to lead.
Hey,
a team-
Edon, what was Carson Wentz's record versus teams over 500 that year? 2-2.
Ooh, he got him there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know
He's
what?
proven
Seems
nothing
like
to
Edon
me.
wants to move on
Nothing
now.
to me.
You
Yeah.
you bring up a
It
good
seems
point,
like
but you
Edon
can't.
wants to
But you
move on.
can't say Carson Wentz doesn't have the potential to be that.
Every
that-
quarterback in the league
No,
has the
no,
potential.
that-
Josh
There's a reason-
Rosen had great
Even
potential.
Nathan Peterman.
He sucked.
Edon,
He
every
said Nathan
Edon,
Peterman.
there's a reason every quarterback is in this league, and it's because they have potential.
Okay, does Nathan Peterman have potential?
Not anymore, but he did when he did.
Potential doesn't mean
When he
success,
was
but
playing-
potential is
when he was
potential.
playing-
But there's
when
different
Nathan
amounts of
Peterman
potential.
was brought into this league, Nathan Peterman had potential.
He actually played good at
Yeah, okay, but you want to tell me that Carson Wentz doesn't have more potential than Tyrod Taylor or or Sam Darnold.
As far as I'm concerned, Tyrod Taylor brought a really bad
Okay.
team to the playoffs.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this segment here because
Man, I really
we
got
we
him
really
signed
got
for that.
really got off topic there. We're talking about the draft, and we ended up going on an entire different segment about Carson Wentz. But we're gonna talk about the Sixers. And tonight, which is Thursday night, we play the Bucks.
I'm scared.
Thomas? Do you know the report on whether Joel Embiid is coming back or not?
Yeah,
He is.
JJ
He's
Redick, Jimmy Butler, and Joel Embiid are all questionable tonight.
Oh, I heard a report saying
Nice.
Joel was playing.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I heard he was only playing. It was only out for 3 games. But with Joel Embiid, I believe we will win. Without Joel Embiid, I believe we will lose by 30.
By the way,
By
we just
30.
signed Greg Monroe. I don't know if he's playing tonight or not, but
No,
I love that signing.
Okay, I would just like to say, if we kept Rashawn Holmes, none of these problems would be problems.
I agree. Me and Connor were talking about that the other
We
day.
were literally talking about this yesterday. Like, if we had Rashawn Holmes right now, like, we probably have, like, 6 more wins.
And he wasn't expensive at all.
He wasn't expensive, and he just wasn't expendable. But we're like, we got to sign LeBron, so we got to get rid of everybody. Let's get rid of our whole bench.
Okay,
Look,
but
I
want
like
to talk. I want to talk a
Boban,
moment.
and he provides good offense. It's just he's practically a giant, and the man cannot really move well on his feet. Like
He's
his
good at
offense-
rotation. He's good
his
at rotation.
offense, I don't. The only way, and this is my hot take of the week, the only way I see Boban getting any playoff minutes at this point is if you run Tobias Harris at point.
Okay.
Because Boban and
that's not
Tobias
gonna
Harris
What do you-
run the pick and roll so well together.
Okay, I agree with that, but
Tobias
Tobias Harris doesn't need
Harris,
to be
that's
point
the
guard to
only
run the
way
pick
I
and
see
roll.
Boban getting useful minutes in the playoffs.
okay, that's a strange hot take.
That's
I mean,
like saying
I think
you're
that's
not going to
facts.
play Marco Bellinelli in the playoffs last year. Boban is literally, like, one of our best bench players.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can't-
know if
you
I can
can't-
say that.
okay, so who are you
What
going
has
to
he
play some
done for
Boban
us?
with?
Tell me what he's done for us the last 3 games. Go.
Dropped to 15 points.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wow.
combined.
But Boban
Made a
is.
few threes.
We don't have we don't have centers. We don't have centers that we can
What do you want to do?
rotate
What do you
with.
want to do? Have Amir Johnson play? Is that what you want?
or have Joel
Amir
Embiid
Johnson's
play
better on defense than
70
Boban
minutes?
Marjanovic, because what does Boban do?
Okay, so you want to tell me right now that Joel Embiid, his backup centers are going to be Jonah Bolden and Amir Johnson the entire playoffs.
I like Jonah Bolden.
I like him too, but as a center, no. I like him as a power forward. Okay,
I like Ben Simmons as a power forward.
Jonah Bolden was originally never a center, ever.
He was drafted center / power forward.
But
Slash power forward. That's the point.
Exactly.
You can be, so was Rashawn Holmes. Like
Yeah,
what?
but Rashawn Holmes is a center.
yeah,
He's not-
Rashawn Holmes is a proven center. Jonah Bolden is a proven.
Just like Ben Simmons is a
I don't
proven
think he's
point guard and not a
proven.
proven power forward.
That's true.
Okay, so to me, even if you might not like Boban,
No, I
Boban
love
is our
Boban.
only option.
I have Boban's
Is-
jersey, and I think Greg Monroe's gonna get more.
You have a Boban
Yes,
jersey.
I do indeed have a Boban jersey.
What size is it?
It's like your Dario.
Extra large.
It's like your
No.
Dario jersey.
Yeah, you have a Dario jersey.
I do have
so
a
don't be
Dario
talking over there.
Dario was.
Okay, next. Thank you. Okay, so I mean, I think Greg Monroe's gonna get more minutes over Boban.
Well, depends on how it fits in with the
Greg
offense.
Monroe's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
No, he's decent. I saw
So's
some of
Boban.
his- I saw some of his gameplay.
Why are you saying
If you don't re-sign Boban, you don't re-sign Tobias.
Well,
No.
how is Boban not getting minutes in the playoffs? but you're
Bobby
not?
and Toby.
yeah, I don't understand what
That's
you're
all affection right there. Like,
saying. Okay, I
Why
want to talk.
is TJ
I want
McConnell
to talk a
still on
minute
this team?
about the
Sorry,
Sixers.
Kyle.
The Sixers and why they've been losing. And to be honest,
Embiid.
we aren't losing. We aren't losing
Well,
by
not Embiid, the lack of Embiid.
Lack
We
of
aren't-
bench.
we aren't losing by 10, 5. We're losing by 20
7. We lost by 7.
last night. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and-
Way to watch,
Oh my
Edon.
God, no, that brings me. I'm skipping this point. This brings me to my next point. This defense has been atrocious. I mean, 130 last night, and then what was it the night before that?
I feel like we just keep repeating ourselves every week about how everyone's
that's how
always hurt. This
frustrating
team has legitimately played 16 games together. The starting lineup has played 16 games together. If you're going to bring me a team that's injury prone,
But what's been wrong with our defense? This hasn't been a problem all year. This hasn't. This
Yes,
not
it has.
not to this
Everybody
extreme.
said our defense has been lackluster. Our defense should be number one in the league with
Not
our starters.
to this extreme. We just let the Hawks.
The
put
Hawks are
130.
an offensively powered team.
I agree with that.
they're shooting the three from all over.
Trey
you.
Young is basically gone off.
Trae Young, I would honestly at this point consider Trae Young a.
That's what I said. He's rookie of the
possible
year. No, I'm
rookie of
saying
the year.
Trae Young goes for rookie
Luka
of the year.
hasn't done anything in the second half worth of note.
Yeah, exactly.
Trae Young.
I
should
would
have
give
some
it to
considera-
Trae at this point.
Trae Young should have some consideration. I don't know about giving it to him, but he should have a decent amount of consideration. But this defense is atrocious.
I think the defense was good last year.
I thought
think
they
it was
were
better.
I thought it was better. Yeah. And
Look,
I
you
thought
cannot
part of that
put
was
JJ
because
Redick in
Ersan was a
defense and expect him
beast
to do something.
rebounder. Say it again?
You cannot put JJ Redick on the floor and ask him to do something. It's not going to happen.
And
You cannot put TJ in there. I mean, he provides steals. I still do not think TJ is the best defender, but that's just size. He's not a bad defender. It's just like I think our team right now. I don't want to say they lack size, but sometimes it seems like the way Brett Brown puts rotations in, it seems like he seems to put all the smaller people on. Like Mike Scott, how tall is Mike Scott?
he's
6'6".
6'6". So
That's
I mean,
pretty
that's
tall.
not
That's not too. But no, Mike Scott's not a good defender. But when you look at our starting five, I mean, we have pretty good defenders there. We have Tobias.
obviously not.
Tobias, I would say, is a little bit above average.
Jimmy Butler's one of the best defenders
Yeah.
in the league.
I'm not saying Jimmy Butler isn't, but you cannot just have one defender
Joel
on there
Embiid
because
is
Ben Simmons has
top
been getting broken
tier.
game in and game out.
JJ is the only one on our starting lineup who is not good on defense.
Oh, I want
It's
to.
only JJ.
I want
Well,
to make
then
this
why
clear
have we
that
been
Joel
losing?
Embiid wasn't hurt. You know that, right?
It
Yes,
was
he was.
load
It was
management.
Was it? Oh, okay. Well, that's not really an injury.
Yes, it is.
That's not
He
an
had like a
injury,
knee
Connor.
thing, right?
Well, he always has a knee thing. But I don't think we can process without Joel Embiid, and that's been the problem. I mean,
And
Did you just say process?
yeah, I did say process.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trusting it long enough, and if you give me the starting lineup and you do not go past the second round of the playoffs, I don't know if I can trust
Not with this
anymore.
defense, we won't.
And I wanted to bring up on the point where that we can't really function well without Embiid. Embiid averages 24.4 points over his whole career.
I
Right?
have breaking news that nobody really cares about. The Seahawks have signed defensive end Cassius Marsh. to a
Okay,
one-year
Kyle, you were
deal.
saying.
Go ahead, Kyle.
And Jonah Bolden, over the last 3 games that he started in,
Yeah,
he averaged 11.3 points.
that's I like Jonah Bolden.
It's good,
But he's
it's
really
not
inconsistent.
Embiid. It's not Embiid good.
He's really
No,
inconsistent.
Embiid has averaged 13.7 rebounds, and Bolden averaged 8.3. So I think what we're seeing here is like the drop off in production because we don't have Embiid, and those 10 plus points that we're not getting from Embiid every other game,
Right.
That has a big effect on our team.
Yeah, without Joel Embiid, we are not a complete team. We are nowhere near complete. And why? Because we don't have a bench. The reason why we were able to process last year without Joel Embiid is because
We had a bench.
we had a bench. Exactly.
But
we
you
I am
were the
starting
one-
to
you're
agree
the
with-
one who said that you wanted a better starting.
I was
lineup.
just about to say I am starting to agree with Connor,
No.
where I would rather have a better bench than a
I
better
would
starting
totally
lineup.
have rather have a better bench.
Because if
and
you have a
see it
good
right
bench,
here.
you can put mediocre players out there and bring your bench in, and then
And
you
get
have them
them-
mixed
it's
with
like the
mediocre
And are the Raptors going to make it
mediocre
to the finals?
Yes, the
mediocre
Raptors
starters.
are my pick.
Listen to
make
what
the
I'm saying.
finals.
Mediocre starters mixed with a good bench, that provides a good, solid team.
It's either going to be Toronto or Boston.
Because, Don, let me tell you, with the way this team's playing, I don't care how many people Elton Brand wants to bring in,
Boston.
we're not winning.
Yes. What do you mean? Did you say Boston?
Boston's not going to make the finals.
What? Because they're having a down regular season because that's exactly what LeBron does, and he still makes the finals.
Well, can't you just say that the Sixers are having a down regular season?
No,
I
they're
mean,
not having
no,
a down regular
they're having a
season.
bad
they're having
regular
an atrocious regular season.
No, they're having.
We
an
still
atrocious
have not
end
locked up
to
the 3 spot. How many games do we have left? 3, 2,
5, 6.
5, 6? Okay. Look, if we manage to go 3-3, or we go 2-3, even if we go,
Boston might get the 3.
even if we go 3-2, or if we go 4-3, or what, I don't math.
Well,
But-
also you have to remember.
Okay,
Joel Embiid is
if
back.
we do that, I don't care. He's still questionable. If the man needs load management, I don't. If you really want to help your team win, you're not gonna. He's like load management. I don't think I've ever seen a player go out so much on load management.
LeBron was out literally all year on load management.
You also have to realize.
But that's still, it's Embiid. He's a center, and we need him to win.
But Embiid is also a 7'1" center, and he has
That's
knee
true.
problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Injury prone.
Yeah,
That's
he-
why
he's an
Embiid
injury
will
prone.
finish his career in the next
Did
3
you
years.
just say he isn't injury prone?
No, no. I
Embiid
said
will finish his
injury
career
prone.
in the
Yeah,
next
I
3
agree.
years.
What?
What'd you say?
Yes, you just heard it here. I
Whoa.
believe Embiid will finish his career within the next 3 or 4 years. His
Anyway,
knees,
Okay, you know he's 25.
yes. So he'll be finishing it around when he's 29, 30.
I think you're delusional.
If he keeps getting injured,
No, if you think about it, Thomas brings up a good point.
if he keeps
but,
getting injured,
But how many major injuries have you seen?
a lot.
Okay,
A lot.
you've seen
I've seen 2 major injuries.
like I'm talking about major. Like I'm talking about like season.
I don't
ending.
count that orbital bone fracture he had last year.
Yeah, in the face.
Because that, first of all, that wasn't even his fault. It was Markel's fault. He
We-
ran right into him.
we love Markel.
No, we don't.
That was sarcasm.
I have more
Loved
breaking
Markel.
news.
What?
The AAF is now letting players sign with NFL teams, so that league's basically.
No duh.
Yeah.
They literally just like ended the league.
We're not
3
even going
days
to talk
ago.
about the AAF.
Yeah,
That's
hasn't the
disappointing.
AAF like officially ended like
It
during the
hasn't
regular
officially
season?
ended.
They've seized.
Did you know I
they've
just found out-
seized football
Quote, unquote,
operations.
Did you know I
Season
just found out that the AAF is actually making players buy their own tickets home?
They're making them buy airplane tickets.
Well,
and
they don't
it's
have any
just
money
crazy.
anymore.
No, the AAF. That's really
Sorry.
disappointing. What happened to that? But I don't know if I want to get into that right now because it's a dead organization. All right, we're gonna move on though. We're gonna talk about the Phillies.
Yes.
Opening week has been so much fun.
Except last night.
Wow, first time Don's
Last
ever
night
watched
being
baseball. We're
Wednesday
talking
night.
about it on the podcast.
First of all, this is not the first time I ever watched baseball. This is the first time I ever enjoyed baseball.
Since 2006, 7.
8.
2008.
This is 2008.
No, I'm actually I like baseball. I think the game is fun, but the Phillies has just been so boring to watch as of lately, the past couple of years. So
Can
yeah,
we get a
you can
fake
consider me
Phillies
somewhat of a
fan alert?
bandwagon fan,
You're
but
a bandwagon.
yeah.
Bandwagon.
I'm not gonna lie. My first Philly or my last Phillies game before this
Wait, you're
year
part of the bandwagon?
was when we had the last no hitter. Which
Wait,
was
with
like
Roy?
yeah
Halliday?
with Holiday.
Can we get a band playing and put
Holidays-
them in a
the last
wagon?
time I went to a Phillies game, Ryan Howard was their best player.
Best player. That was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Last time Don was a bandwagon. Oh wait, sorry, that's today. So I mean, are we gonna talk about this loss? Are we
Yeah,
gonna talk
well,
about Bryce
we'll talk-
Harper?
We'll talk about the loss, but I don't think this loss is a big deal. Like
It's not, it's
we
one
shouldn't
game.
treat it. We shouldn't treat it like a Sixers loss.
Because
No, it's
the
not
team
awful.
is
We're
not
gonna
gonna go
161
162 and 0.
Exactly.
Because I would just like the most recent record for a team that was like even close to that was when the Seattle Mariners in 2001
Manners.
went. Edon, you're one to talk about speaking English over there. The Seattle Mariners went 116 and 46. Now that's really good. That's actually, and
they didn't even.
it was like
win the
what
World
1906, the Chicago Cubs. That was back when seasons were shorter. It was like 136. No, it was 116 and 36 or something crazy like that. But it's just like you're gonna lose games,
Yeah, oh yeah.
and you're
for
gonna
sure.
lose up to 40, 50 games maybe. I don't.
Just
I
losing
still
a
think
game
this
like
team
that
is
was
a
awful.
97, 98 win team. But it's just like
And by the way, you want to talk about Seattle? They're actually starting really nice right now.
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. All right, I want to talk about Bryce Harper's impact.
Bryce Harper has brought a swag to this team that we have not had since who? Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley. That's
Ryan Howard. I mean,
no. Bryce Harper's bringing what Jimmy Rollins brought, and that's a good bat. Average defense. I mean, Jimmy Rollins was good on defense. Don't lie to me.
better than Jimmy Rollins.
Anyway,
Okay, I'm the hot take guy on this.
I have to say that Bryce Harper's impact. I'm looking at the gameplay, and I see him hit home runs. I see him hit doubles. I see him do all this stuff, and then he comes back, and you see him have a connection with the players. You see him have literally a handshake with every one of his players.
Yeah, tell me, Gabe Kapler, what are you doing in practice? Because it looks like you're just making handshakes.
Like honestly, but what is that end game thing where like they take the
End game?
gloves and they take the gloves and like they play basketball and Harper like makes that little net and it's so weird.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
like that.
No,
He is officially at 500 for the season. I was also at the game.
Batting average?
No, he's not at 500. What am I talking
Yeah,
about?
I didn't think so.
Yeah, he has to be like 30.
But by far though, my favorite player has been McCutchen.
Yeah.
McCutchen
has been great.
Very, very, very
I,
nice addition.
I will agree with that, but I'm actually going to say biggest impact player so far is Michael Franco.
I know.
I
At
thought-
the 8th slot, hitting like what do you got now? 3 home runs, 4 home runs.
3 or 4 home runs.
I want to talk for a second. to
JT
Kyle here.
Realmuto is playing well too.
Kyle mentioned to me the other day, and I wanted to bring this up during the podcast, that he thinks Hoskins has a bigger impact on the not a bigger impact, but is a better player than Bryce Harper. I
Hey,
disagree.
I agree with him.
No.
I have to agree.
At his position, are we
Well-
talking defensively
okay,
or
wait,
offensively?
wait.
Because Bryce Harper,
I just want to
Obviously
I just want to clarify. I did say this before Wednesday the 3rd when he missed that catch. It was a really easy
No,
catch.
that
He missed
happens.
That
It
happens.
happens.
It's
baseball.
It's 160
It's not
games.
a game.
There's no way you're not
it's
going
not
to
a
slip
game
up.
if stuff like that doesn't happen.
I think he's a more talented player than Bryce Harper.
No.
Changed my mind.
He's not more talented. He is more
No,
complete.
I think he has a higher ceiling at this point than Bryce Harper does.
As do I, because Reese Hoskins, first of all, he's like 5 years younger.
He
than Bryce.
switched
How
out
old
of
is
the
Hoskins?
first.
Hoskins just came into the league.
He
2 years
switched
ago.
out of the first base into left field and then back to first base.
Yeah, I hated when he played
And
left field.
but he's
Bad.
playing well other than that throw from Sir Anthony. And honestly, I think Bryce Harper has proven his ceiling. We know where he is. I think he's almost to the top of his ceiling. I still think
Yeah.
he has room for improvement.
But
Reese
can go so
Hoskins,
much higher.
Reese Hoskins, his house does not have a ceiling.
Reese
he's gonna keep
Hoskins
going
could
up.
probably hit 50 home runs in a season.
I think Bryce Harper's heading that way.
Yeah.
The
Bryce
way he's
Harper,
playing-
I think Bryce Harper's on a way to an MVP
He
season.
went
I'm
off
sorry.
on the national. He went off. If Michael Franco keeps playing the way he is, you may have to look at him as an MVP. And I do not like saying that. But I think if he keeps
He'll
going off
cool
the
down.
way he is,
He'll cool
you have to look at him.
Wait, who? Franco?
I think if the way he keeps playing,
Oh yeah, definitely.
One
he's a
player I
contender.
haven't liked as of lately, and I want to make this clear. I like this player, Nola. You know,
Aaron Nola.
Well, okay,
Edon, this
he
is
had-
the
he had
first time
one
you've seen
bad game.
Nolan. Okay,
One-
he just
Did you watch him on opening day?
Okay,
Yes,
no.
I watched him.
Listen,
And he did a
listen
great
to
job.
what I'm
Yes,
saying.
he did
real
very
quick.
well on opening day.
Listen to what
but,
I'm saying.
But
So,
to the start
Go
of
ahead,
the
Edon.
season, to the start of the season,
Mr. Phillies fan over there.
to the start of this season, it has been a little bit up and down for me. And
You mean all
I'm
2
not- I'm
games
not
that he's
saying-
played?
I'm not. It's, never mind.
He had, he,
Yeah, exactly.
He had one good game, one bad game.
I've silenced Edon twice today. No, I'm just kidding. But
You silenced me once.
twice. I just
Oh no,
silenced
that
you.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But so Nola has the highest consecutive games in the MLB for pitchers where he allowed 4 runs or less, and he broke that streak yesterday. He allowed 6 runs yesterday, but he had 38 consecutive games where he allowed 4 runs or less. That was
I
ahead
thought
of
he should have won. Cy Young.
DeGrom. That was ahead of Scherzer. That was ahead of every pitcher in the league.
So he would have.
So every pitcher, a player of his caliber is allowed to have an off game, and every pitcher is going to have an off game. Now, maybe you have to reassess if he plays this way again. Maybe you have to reassess where you're looking at him. I don't think they're going to. He's
What are you gonna do? Start Arrieta? Is that was that?
No,
is that
let's start Zach Eflin.
Zach Eflin's pretty nice. I like Zach Eflin.
All right. Well, we're gonna do our hot takes, and I think we're gonna wrap it up here. You know,
Alright. Before we do some hot takes, I just wanted to mention
all right, read us some stats.
Right.
He's not reading.
not
They're all
stats.
on
Right. David Robertson, the guy who
Trash.
Oh boy, walks.
unfortunately
I like walks.
walked pretty much everyone.
They really had a walk-off win yesterday.
But I really want to point this out. Jake Knoll, who was walked yesterday for the win,
He put
has already gone back to
he
AAA.
got put back to AAA.
Are you
He's
serious?
already gone back to AAA after that game.
Shoot! Do you remember last year when Andrew Knapp won us that game in the 13th inning, and then they sent him down to the minors for who was it? Wilson Ramos and Jorge were the 2 catchers at that point. But that's still crazy that they already sent him down.
Literally-
All right, let's do our hot takes. Thomas, you want to start?
Go ahead. We're gonna let.
No, I gotta think of mine. You go ahead.
So my hot take of the week is that Joel Embiid will end his career within 3 or 4 years. It's a hot take for a reason.
Okay.
You said Eli Manning is better than Peyton. So
Wait, when did you say that?
Last week.
last week when you weren't here.
Oh.
We're not gonna talk about that. Listen to the podcast.
All
Show your support.
right, Kyle.
Alright, I think Gene Segura is an unsung hero of the Phillies.
Well, he's the second best, maybe best shortstop in the league.
Connor.
You know what?
Jake
I'm gonna
Knoll
pass.
will hit 55 home
All right.
runs.
Can we come back to?
Yeah, just
Okay.
give me a minute.
My
Hold on, the
my
only-
hot take
go
of the
ahead.
week is, again, this is a hot take. I don't actually think it will happen. But I think it should. Carson Wentz will be re-signed before the start of the season
Um,
or extended contract.
honestly, I don't know if Connor has one, but the only
No,
hot take of the
actually-
week is that Connor is wearing a Nerlens Noel jersey.
I wanted to save this one for last because I think the Phillies are going to win 115 games this year.
Wow. Okay, that's a good hot take. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening as usual. Thomas has a shocked face. But
Give me a reason.
we
Oh,
have
that's the first time I've been speechless.
we have a really good podcast today. We had whatever. And
We actually got into some good arguments today.
Yeah, we had
People
some,
got a little feisty today.
uh
All in good fun.
next week we will have
Stephen A.
Bradley Greenfield back on the show, which
Sorry,
we're
Kyle.
really excited
We
about.
love you, Kyle.
I'm gonna be in New York, so
Okay. And as usual, fly goes fly. Trust the process.
Don't
Go
forget to follow
Phillies.
Edon's account,
Oh,
Philly
yeah, the
Sports
Flyers missed the
Report
playoffs. That
Nation
also
on
happened.
Instagram. You can follow him on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, follow Philly Sports Yap. I don't know if Thomas still does that account.
Well, I kind of
No.
forgot about that one.
Epic
But
gritty wallpapers.
Gritty!
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. As usual,
It was
we
good.
will see you guys next
It was
week.
good.
Have a
Thank you
good
guys
one.
for watching.
bye.